Hello guys, welcome back to our Retrofits and Project A3. So it's been a couple of weeks since we've last recorded on the car. The car actually was taken by the missus and she was using it for a little while. And in that time, the alloy guys called us to tell us that the alloys were ready. So we've got the wheels back and now you can see they look lovely and fresh, nice rose gold color. The center caps have not been fitted on. That's on purpose because I'm going to do something with the center caps. Another thing that we found out whilst she had the car is the back door has a problem. The inner handle for some reason is not working anymore. I think it's since I dismantled the doors and changed over things, so I'll have to open it back up and see if it's the lock or if it's the handle. It does spring back, but it's not working properly, so we'll figure out what's going on there. And then the other thing that I want to do is I want to sort out the lighting problems that we've had. The speaker lights are very dim compared to the rest of the door lights. If I just flick on the ignition. So the ambient light kits that I installed, they look amazing. The missus absolutely loves this one. But I found the brightness it matches here, but when you get down to here, this is a bit dim. And I bought some new LED strips to replace those with. So I'm going to be doing that too. Since the wheels have come back, the tire pressure monitoring hasn't worked properly. So I found that it doesn't display properly here, and instead it just keeps complaining that the tire pressure system has a problem, which I can only imagine that the control module can't see the tire sensors properly. So I'm going to reset that and try and get that error gone as well. So there's a few things I need to fix on the car, which we found on the last couple of days where the missus has been driving. But yeah, the alloys do look really nice now. I'm wondering how long we can keep it looking like this, but yeah, I really do like how they are. In fact, let's start on this, the center caps. All right, so I've got the center caps here. These have been repainted by the guys at First Aid Wheels, so they look really nice and fresh, but they didn't put on the backing plates that are meant to fit to click into the center cap on the wheel. And that's because I have a set of backing plates, custom backing plates, that I want to fit them onto. So these kind of need building. They come in a few pieces. So these backing plates are custom self-leveling backing plates that allow you to stick your center cap onto the plate there, and then it will keep it upright at all times. They're custom made by a person named Phil. He stamps his logo VIP Phil on the back. Found them on Instagram, and yeah, they look pretty cool. So I'm gonna prepare the surface and glue these on, and hopefully when I'm done, it should come out really nice. Okay, so it should be as simple as just taking it and popping it in as you would any normal sensor cap. So if we just line it up there and give it a little nudge. So that one works quite nicely. Pretty much every time balances itself out. On the other side, on the front, I've got it to work. Although this one doesn't sit flush, but it does eventually balance out. And then this side doesn't even turn. This side is completely stuck. Yeah, it's just failed. The backing plate that this one is sitting on doesn't work at all. I could rebuild it. I might rebuild this myself using the original backing plate, but it's at the moment, this is just a no-go. All right, so I've been tinkering with the car and I've got it now to a position where some of the problems are fixed. So this door handle that wasn't unlocking from the inside, there was some sort of weird thing going on with the actual lock, but now I can simulate a lock by pushing that, oops, and that will engage the soft close. So that's locked. And now if I pull the handle, it unlocks it. There was something going on in the lock here that was stopping it from unlocking with the handle on the inside. Almost like a child lock, but it sorted that out. In fact, where's that grill gone? Okay, so that's that. Another thing, these center floating caps, the spinners, the one on that side that was jammed, I've managed to fix it. So I had to remove it. As you can see there, it's working now. They're quite cool. but they're really fiddly. And what I've had to do is use one of the original backing plates, and I sort of trimmed the one that came with the kit, and I had to basically use the backing plate, glue it to the other one, and use this one's clips, which were much better than the rubbish ones that came with them, but got that all working now as well. Oh, another thing I was doing, while I was going through stock and stuff, I found a few boxes of stuff that I'd forgotten about when we moved to this unit, and I added the Lamborghini Urus style paddles onto this steering wheel, which look a bit cooler. You can see they're a bit larger than the stock ones, and they do just give that extra touch of visual element to the car, and they work perfectly fine. Now, while I'm here, there is a couple of other things. So the tire pressure monitoring system, I checked it over, and it came up saying that we were setting the pressures too many times, that I'd reset the tire pressure one too many times, and so it bugged out. Once I cleared that fault, it's gone back to normal. I just need to drive it to get the tire pressure to show up there. The next thing to install on the car is this kit. So this just came through to us. It's a electric tailgate kit for the A3. So the A3s of this generation never received electric tailgates. Now, whether that be a saloon or a hatchback or the sportback, they always had the one button push, and you'd have to lift it yourself, and then you'd have to basically slam it down yourself. Now, on a saloon, it's not so bad. These boot lids are very light, but on the hatchback, they can be a bit annoying, especially if you've got your hands full. So if you're taking stuff out of the car, then you have to come back or leave something on the floor and then pull it down. Now, I found a kit that will allow this setup to be fully electric, including the foot kick option, so that if your hands were full with stuff, you could quite literally kick your foot, and then the sensor would pick up that you've done that and pull the boot lid down for you. Now, it is an aftermarket kit, but it shouldn't be too hard to install. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this all apart and see how that kit is meant to fit in with this. Like I said, it's aftermarket. There isn't any proper documentation on it. So I'm gonna try and do the best I can. So I'll start by saying that the first part of stripping this boot lid down and actually installing the motor itself, my camera unfortunately turned off once it was recording. So I missed all of that footage. When I figured out what had happened, I went back and switched it on, and we got the latter half of this install where the motor is already installed into the car and I'm wiring it all up. So now that the wiring's done and it is working, I've tested that. I've found that the motor is a bit loose in the brackets and it wobbles and rattles a bit, and that stops the boot lid from going up all the way. It needs to be secure and fitted properly for the boot lid to push up to its maximum height. And now once the boot lid brackets are all done, I can tidy up the wiring, fit it all back nicely behind the panels, and then reinstall everything to make it a nice clean OEM installation. Alright, so we're finally done with the boot install. That took a good 4 hours, but now if I press the boot button, it opens up the boot lid. It's so smooth as well. This is actually smoother than my factory fitted boot on my A7. If I press that, it will bring it back down. And then the latch at the bottom there has a soft closing element to it. So if you press it again, this bit here, when the boot lid comes down, it grabs the lock and then it sort of slowly pulls it down, which makes it so smooth. And you can actually see the operation here. As it comes down, it stops with a gap and the soft close brings it down and sits it nice and flush. So yeah, it's so impressed with that. You can also use the key to do it. So if I just grab the keys here, hold down the middle unlock button, and it will pop up. And then when it gets to the top, you know, you've done what you need to do, you get all your bits out, and then you press it again, hold it for 2 seconds, and it will bring it back down again. So yeah, really cool. The only thing we haven't done yet is the foot sweep to open. There is something that we're going to do with the lower section, so we'll do the foot sweep then. But for now, this, yeah, I'm really impressed with this. Such a cool mod. There you go.